My boyfriend asked for a paternity test of our child. As soon as the results come and show that he's the father, I'm leaving him. I'm a new mom to a baby boy who is my pride and joy, and though it's been a roller coaster adjusting to taking care of a baby, the past few months had been great, tiring but great. I have a boyfriend of 3 years who is the first person relationship-wise I have ever loved, and I thought we were doing great as new parents, but also as partners. Friday, he came home and asked me for a paternity test. Just like that. It was completely out of the blue. I was putting away the dishes and he asked for one, like he was asking what was for dinner. I'm a different race from him, but our child, apart from the skin tone, is literally his mirror image from pictures I had seen of him when he was a baby. I was stunned when he asked, and his reasons were that he had to be sure he was the father. He had to have that certainty. All I remember as he was speaking is just immediately feeling pain. The man I love doesn't trust me. He would actually believe that I would sleep with someone else, cheat on him, and then try to pass up another man's baby as his. I have never ever given him reason to think I would cheat on him. I have tried to be transparent and communicated, and it wasn't enough. He told me he would give me time to think about this, that he wouldn't go behind my back and do this test, but for our relationship to move forward, he needs to be 100% sure. He repeated this because he, in his words, needed me to realize how serious he was. After thinking for a couple of days, I'm going to allow him this paternity test because I have nothing to hide. I never cheated and would never cheat on him. Once it's proven that he's the father, I'm ending it, leaving the same day, and I'm going to try my best to be a cooperative co-parent with him. In the meantime, I'm coming up with my exit plan, a place to live, and a lawyer to work out a custody arrangement in court. I couldn't tell my father or my friends right now because they would go nuclear, and my first priority is our child. I hope the test was worth it to him. I'm not asking for advice or reassurance or to explain his side. I'm just realizing this part of my life is now over. What a way to start the year. Am I wrong for shaving my niece's hair off? I'll try to keep this short. My sister has a daughter and she is 4 years old. Lexi has super curly hair and needs her hair to be taken care of constantly. My sister's husband ended up in the hospital and she has been a wreck. He has only been there a week, but she is destroyed and stopped brushing Lexi's hair. I was visiting with some pre-made meals and noticed the house and Lexi's hair was a mess. My sister wasn't doing well, so I offered to take Lexi for a bit so she can focus on her husband. I tried to fix her hair. It's just matted. I couldn't fix it. I went to a hair salon to see if they could fix it, but it would be $50 an hour for them to brush out the hair. My sister wasn't picking up, so we had her head shaved the next day. I sent pictures when it was done, and that finally got her response. It resulted in a huge argument, with her saying, "How dare I do that?" and me pointing out I wouldn't have had to if she brushed her daughter's hair. To make the timeline clear, I got her Tuesday morning, went to the salon on Wednesday, and then did the cut on Saturday. She had 3 days to respond to all of the calls and texts. This didn't happen in an hour. Lexi was fine with it. Her head was hurting, and yes, we tried everything we could to get it out. Not to mention, I called my sister and texted her multiple times and waited a whole day after the salon visit. It was painful. I wasn't going to leave her in pain since her mom wouldn't pick up the phone. The estimate the hairdresser gave me was $50 an hour, and she said it most likely at minimum would take 8 hours, so $400. That's with no break and her sitting still, which we all know a 4-year-old won't do, especially if it hurts. If we did do that with the constant breaks and wiggling, they said probably an extra 3 to 4 hours. My 37 male, wife 34 female, sister 29 female tried to kiss me, and now my wife is spiraling. Somebody help me. As the title says, my wife's sister made a pass at me at a recent family gathering and I have no idea what to do. For context, I think my wife Jenna is absolutely gorgeous, but she has some really negative body image issues. This is in large part because of her sister, Mary, who is very conventionally attractive, as opposed to Jenna's more unconventional but in my opinion striking beauty. Mary was a successful model until a couple of years ago and now works in the fashion industry. In our early days of dating, when I would tell Jenna she's beautiful, she would always say, "Just wait until you see my sister." When I did finally meet her family, she would randomly press me for weeks to talk about her sister, whether I thought she was more attractive than her, etc. I always told her the truth, that I think Mary is attractive in a boring way, and I think my wife is much more beautiful and interesting to look at. She wouldn't let it go until I confronted her about how uncomfortable it made me and asked her what's going on. This is when she told me that she always had a chip on her shoulder about her looks because of being compared with her sister growing up. They fell into the classic smart one/pretty one dynamic their whole lives. She also said that Mary had a habit of being flirty with all of her exes and warned me that it would happen to me eventually. She then started sobbing and begged me not to cheat on her with her sister, to which I forcefully said I would never cheat on her with anyone, let alone her sister. I've been crazy about my wife since day one, and there's literally no woman on earth who would come close to her. I mean, I fight with my sister, but we would never cross that kind of line about flirting with each other's spouses. I honestly didn't believe her about the flirting at first. I assumed it was just an extension of her insecurity, but I was wrong. Whenever we get together with my wife's family, Mary always finds ways to touch me and make little innuendos and comments about me or my body. It's super uncomfortable for everyone, especially my wife, and I've called her out on it before. She'll cool it for a while, but eventually start doing it again. It's been 6 years of this, and every time it happens, my wife is upset for days and I have to do a lot of reassuring. On to the current problem. A few days ago, we were at my mother-in-law's birthday party, and Mary asked me to help her grab some things from the garage. As soon as we walked into the garage, she turned and pressed me up against the door with her whole body and started trying to kiss me. I immediately pushed her off and asked her what the she was doing. She started giggling and saying that she was doing what we both have been thinking and kept insisting, "You know you want to." I told her she was out of her mind and ran out of there. I went straight to my wife and told her we were leaving. The whole ride home, she was asking me what was wrong. I wasn't sure whether to tell her because I knew how much it was going to hurt, but I also thought Mary would probably try to spin it as me making a move on her, so I knew I had to just say it. I told her everything and she cried the whole way home. For the last several days, Mary has been calling and texting my wife, doing exactly what I thought she would do. Even telling my wife that I said that Mary was the hottest girl I've ever seen, which I had to assure my wife a million times that I did not and would never say, even though she believes my account of the situation. She's been a complete wreck for the last several days and she's hardly eating. She pulls away from my touch when I try to hug her or just hold her. She says she feels hideous and disgusting and I don't know what to do. This is the lowest I've ever seen her and it hurts to see how much she's hurting. I have no idea what to do to help her heal from this. You guys, what should I do? Am I wrong for posting videos of my niece and nephew misbehaving in response to my sister's complaints that I did not want them at my birthday dinner? My sister Angel claims to use hands-off parenting with my niece Sophia and nephew Parker. In actuality, Angel is entirely permissive and refuses to discipline them. She expects other adults to step in when Sophia and Parker's behavior is getting out of hand. For this reason, I asked Angel to get a babysitter for Sophia and Parker if she wanted to attend my 27th birthday. I love Sophia and Parker as their aunt, but at the same time, I want a peaceful evening to celebrate my birthday instead of dealing with Sophia and Parker's behavior because I know Angel isn't going to discipline them herself. Angel acted understanding when I made this request and explained my reasons to her in person, but then she went online and made a Facebook post accusing me of hating Sophia and Parker and trying to punish Angel by only inviting our sister Jessica's kid, Megan, to my birthday dinner. Never mind that Megan is 17 and is practically an adult herself. The fact that she went to social media to air out your family drama shows the type of person that she is. I'm already on your side. Several of our relatives and mutual acquaintances called me out and said that I was an asshole and was excluding a 10 and 7-year-old. I responded to Angel's post by sharing 2 videos of Sophia and Parker misbehaving while Angel did nothing. The first video was a recording taken by Megan, where Sophia and Parker were throwing tantrums and yelling at her. Megan was trying to calm Sophia and Parker down while Angel was on her tablet ignoring the situation. The other video was one that Angel took. Sophia and Parker were yelling, throwing toys at each other, and Parker even called his sister a bad word. Angel was laughing as if it were funny and was again doing nothing to discipline Sophia or Parker. I wrote alongside the videos that I love Sophia and Parker as their aunt, but at the same time, I want a peaceful evening to celebrate my birthday, and I don't want to be stuck disciplining Sophia and Parker because clearly Angel won't. Angel ended up not coming to my birthday at all. My parents told me that I was in the wrong for sharing those videos because everyone's children have acted up and posting those videos didn't accomplish anything besides embarrassing Angel. They also said I could have compromised by having a nobody under 18 rule for my birthday dinner. Megan would not have been able to attend, but Sophia and Parker wouldn't feel excluded. I do not see how that would be fair to myself or Megan. So, am I the asshole for not wanting to make a compromise for my birthday dinner? Am I wrong for not giving a wedding present I promised because I was uninvited? I, 32 male, was invited to a wedding of an acquaintance of mine named Molly a few months ago. I'm not super close to her or her fiance, but I love weddings, so I said, yeah, I'll go. Now, the relevant part here is that I have a very good career and make an excellent living. Plus, I love giving gifts and splurging a bit. So I spoke with Molly and her fiance and promised them a custom-made gaming PC since they game together. They were very happy and thanked me a lot. The price of the PC would come out to be a little over $1,500, not counting the monitor I was willing to throw in. 2 months ago, Molly told me that unfortunately I had to be uninvited to the wedding as part of a cost-cutting measure. She apologized but assured me it was only because of cost. I was upset but let it go. Then I found out a week or so later that a mutual acquaintance that was still going that Molly told her she had to cut people because she needed the invites for some of the groom's family who decided to come. I was pissed, so I decided to not give Molly the PC I promised. Molly's wedding happened 2 weeks ago, and from what I can tell, it was a nice ceremony. Afterwards, she actually texted me asking if we could talk about when the PC would arrive. I asked if we could call. She said yes. I told her that since I didn't go to the wedding that I wasn't going to get her a gift. We had a long argument where I said I was being petty and that I was holding it against her that I couldn't come and that I made a promise. I didn't tell her that I knew because I wanted to protect the person who told me. She called me a petty asshole and complained to our friend. I explained to a few select people the whole story. Most agreed with me, but some said that weddings cause people to make very tough decisions that aren't personal. Now I'm doubting myself. Maybe it wasn't personal and I'm just being petty. But she did lie to me and uninvited me while still expecting an expensive gift from me. So, am I the asshole?